Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Filipinos who identify themselves as pro-Marcos have increased based on the latest survey by Okta Research. The research firm reported that 38% of Filipinos said they are pro-Marcos this third quarter. This is a 2% increase from their second quarter survey. Meanwhile, Filipinos who identify themselves as pro-Duterte are now down from 16% to 15% this quarter. The survey also revealed that 7% of Filipinos are siding with the opposition, a 2% improvement from the previous survey. The number of those who consider themselves as politically independent decreased from 31 to 26%. Now, the president of Okta Research Survey believes the increase of pro-Marcos Filipinos was caused by government interventions and improving economic conditions. Ranjit Rai told Storycon that Marcos' numbers were influenced by the administration's initiatives to Class E, like pro-poor programs. He also believes that the decrease in inflation rate and increase of jobs were factors for Filipinos to support the president. Now, when it comes to Vice President Sara Duterte's numbers, Rai said it could be influenced by the massive information drive against her family's brand.
For the Duterte brand, it's on a downward trend, but the changes have been slight from second to the third quarter, just 1%.
Meanwhile, Senator Imee Marcos expresses skepticism regarding surveys that compare political preferences between the Marcoses and the Dutertes. And here's an excerpt from her interview on The Big Story.
How do you feel that political affiliation is now down to your two families, the Marcoses and the Dutertes, and even analysts say that the midterms will be a determinant kung gaano kalakas ang Marcos brand, syempre yung mga umaalyado po dun sa inyong pamilya?
Alam niyo nakakatawa nga paano ba tinatanong yon? Kung pro-isa, pro o kontra sa isa, hindi naman tumatakbo yung isa laban sa isa. Napakalabo para sa akin na hindi ako masyadong naniniwala, hindi ako nagtitiwala dyan, higit sa lahat, dahil ayokong pinagsasabong ang dalawang pamilya, ang dalawang partido, pinaghahati-hati ang Pilipinas. I really do not like this divisiveness, this polarization. It's not healthy. Is it the solid north versus the solid south? We're all Filipinos and we have serious problems. Higit sa lahat, itong mga binubuli o kinukuyog, palibasa wala na sa posisyon. Sa palagay ko, tiniis na namin yan. For 36 years, kami yun. Kami yung parating binubuli at kinukuyog. Sa lahat ng ayokong mangyari, gawin sa ibang pamilya, palibasa bumaba na sila sa posisyon.
Is that the reason, Senator Imee, kung bakit hindi kayo sumama doon sa launch nung senatorial slate of the ruling party? And you have said that you're gonna stay independent. Or was it true na, as President BBM said, na busy ka lang daw po that day?
No, I made it very clear. I had a proper statement saying that I would be independent and wouldn't join the alliance simply because I think the acrimony, the bitterness, the anger involved in any election is not something I'd like to get involved in. There's already enough of that right now in the country. Ayokong pumanig sa isa laban sa kabila. Ayokong nakikipag-away. At ang gusto ko, makatawid. I'd like to be able to cross the line, to be able to talk to all factions, to all families, to all parties, and that way, finally be able to work. Hindi naman tayo makapagpanig na lamang ako sa sambayan ng Pilipino at hindi na sa isang alyansa, laban sa kabilang alyansa, nalaban pa sa iilang alyansa. Wag na lang ganun.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other headlines. In the Philippine Star, the United Nations underscores the important role of media in reducing disasters in the Philippines. UN Special Representative Kamal Kishore says the media should talk about what needs to be done to reduce risk and the occurrence of disasters. Kishore also describes the Philippines as a lighthouse for the rest of the region and the world in the disaster risk efforts. And in Business World, analysts say gross domestic product growth will likely settle below the 6 to 7% target range this year. Capital Economics, for one, expects GDP growth to average 5.1% this year. In order to meet the lower end of the target, GDP expansion should average 6% for the remainder of the year. The Philippines is not returning to the International Criminal Court. This is what the Marcos administration declared despite the recent developments about the previous administration's bloody war on drugs. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin rejected proposals of submitting a House Quad Committee report to the ICC. He was referring to former Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office General Manager Regina Garma's testimony in which she linked the former President Rodrigo Duterte to state-sanctioned extrajudicial killings. Former lawmaker Nery Colmenares earlier urged President Bongbong Marcos to submit Garma's report to the ICC to hold Duterte accountable for the thousands of deaths in the drug war. The president previously said the Philippines will not rejoin the ICC because we have a working justice system. Senatorial aspirant and Agri-Party List Representative Wilbert Lee is now facing an ethics complaint in the House of Representatives. Marikina 2nd District Representative Stella Kimbo and Barangay Health Workers Party List Representative Natasha Ko accused Lee of threatening them during the 2025 budget hearing. Kimbo claimed that Lee threatened her of making a scene if he was not allowed to speak during the hearing of the Health Department's budget. In response, Lee said it was never his intention to bully his colleagues. Now, Ko said Lee already apologized to her, but she pursued filing a complaint to ensure a safe space for her colleagues.
I don't want it to be a precedent sa mga susunod po na kung sino po ang uupo as budget sponsor ay pwede pong ganunin ng kung sino man pong miyembro ng House of Representatives. Kaya po ito itinuloy ko rin po ang pag-file sa Committee on Ethics.
Meanwhile, former Ilocos Sur Governor Chavit Singson shares the reasons behind his senatorial bid in the 2025 midterm elections. And here's an excerpt from his interview on 1PH sa Totoo Lang.
Ako po walang balak tumakbo dahil nung tumakbo na ako minsan, di ako natuloy dahil nahulog ako sa helicopter. Baka tumakbo ulit ako, baka mahulog na ako sa langit, kako, kaya ayaw ko tumakbo sa senador. But anyway, ang nagtulak sa akin, may kontento na ako sa aking lalawigan dahil napatahin from the poorest to be the richest, fifth richest daw ang probinsya namin, although malit kami. Napayaman ko po ang aking lalawigan. Isa lang ginawa kong batas sa Congress noon, yung excise tax ng cigarette. So, doon yumaman lahat ang buong Ilocania. So, we are the most notorious, we became now the most peaceful. So, because ang tulong ang aking kaprobinsya, dahil di mo magawa yan kung walang tulong ang taong bayan. So, nagpapasalamat ako sa aking kababayan sa pagkikisama nila at napayaman namin ang aming lalawigan, napatahimik po namin. Kontento na ako. So, last election, hindi na ako tumakbo. Sumama na lang ako kay BBM na sinamahan ko because I was the president of the Mayor's League of the Philippines. So, wala na akong balak tumakbo. Iniyon-joke ako, tumakbo. Ayaw ko ako. Pero nung nag-endorse si President Duterte, nag-react kagad ang mga governors dahil naging presidente ako ng governors. Nag-react kagad ang mga mayors dahil ako ang presidente ng Mayor's League of the Philippines. Nag-react din ang mga Councilors League dahil naging presidente po ako dyan. Lahat dyan po inayos ko. Especially the mayors, hindi masara-sara ang accounting, puro graft and corruption, tinanggal ko po lahat. Nung umalis ako, nag-iwan pa ako ng 40 million. Although natulungan na namin mga iba-ibang bayan. Doon naman sa Councilors League, ganun din, mula umpisa, lahat na naging presidente, puro utang. Nung hinabakong ko po, isang term lang. Marami kami natulungan na bayan, nag-iwan pa ako ng 100 milyon. Na sobra. So, iniisip ko, wala na kung nagawa ko na lahat. So, naisip ko yung pagtulong sa taong bayan. Meron tayong program ngayon ng gobyerno na hindi matuloy-tuloy, modernization program of the electric vehicles. Nagbigay na ng DOTR ang specification, 26-seater, 6 standing, total of 28 passenger, kopyahin yung jeep para hindi mawala yung iconic and aircon.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.